folks react, that it's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love? You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I ever met. I'm stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. Tears apart, baby, I would rather be dead. All the children say we don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is what we yearn to know. I love you, no matter however deep the heart. Or if I lost you, would I cry? Oh, how I love you, baby, I left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day. And I never lost 1 minute of sleep and worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, turning round, and it keep on burning, burning, rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on the river. Cleaned a lot of plates in Memphis, y'all. Pumped a lot of tang down in New Orleans. But I never saw the good side of a city till I hitched the ride on the riverboat queen. Big wheel keep on turning, turning round, and it keep on burning, burning, rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on the river. Say we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. River. If you come down to the river, I bet you're gonna find some people who live. You don't have to worry if you got no money. The people on the river are happy to give. This wheel keep on turning, turning round, and it keep on burning, burning, rolling, then rolling, yeah, rolling on the river. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. River.
I guess that is a hard act to follow. I was waiting for Sir Oliver there real quick, but that wasn't going to happen today. Hey, I tell you that's a hard act to follow. the iconic queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, left us here this what day was it? It was May 24th. I forget what day that actually was,
That was
but
Wednesday.
that was Wednesday. Okay. Oh my goodness, that's wow! What a way to bring us in here, Ed. So welcome aboard. You're listening to the Taxi Stand Hour on Radio TFI and on the Radio TFI streaming network for this Sunday, May 28th of 2023. And from the Shaletta studio in St. Paul, Minnesota, I'm John Shannon. Over here to my left in the Radio TFI Executive Tower, where you see, if you're watching, you can see he's actually doing some remodeling here, it looks like. But it is, hey, we got the letters, boys. That's the start. All right, my good friend, the one and only Ed Van Ness. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, kids and kittens. We trust you've had a fine and fantastic week, and hopefully you enjoyed our little tribute to Tina Turner there. We're going to talk more about her in just a second, and we're bringing Bill in a little early today. So from Bill Fancher, good morning, Bill. I know you're like the rest of us, a big fan of Tina. By the way, the only I tried to squeeze as much in there as I could without turning it into a 2-hour documentary, and I meant to get Acid Queen from her performance in Tommy.
Oh yeah.
It was, I mean, that the first time I saw that, it freaked me the hell out. And, yeah, she was living quietly in Switzerland. Her current husband, had donated a kidney to her, which gave her 6 more years. But she had been retired for a while. And, look, we all, not that we knew her personally, but you can't listen to Tina's music and not want to jump out of a chair or something like that. We're all familiar with her story with Ike. She went through a lot, and as a kid and all that, but she persevered and took her rightful place as the queen of rock and roll. And she was, I'm firmly convinced, she was placed on this earth to show the rest of us how to dance in 6-inch heels.
No doubt.
Because nobody did it better. And again, you look, you all of you out there, you've heard Tina, you've heard her, you'll remember in your own way. Her music isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And nobody doesn't get excited when Proud Mary comes on. Because we all know the best part is when they tell you right up front, we're going to start it slow, but we're going to kick some ass at the end. And
even John Fogerty said he loved it.
Yeah, it's so anyway. So that's
and for all those other women out there, Beyonce and all them that do all their little dance and things, that's the woman that showed you how to do it.
Oh, and they know that. They all acknowledge that. They all acknowledge that. If not for Tina, there is no Beyonce. There is no,
No.
Bill doesn't dress up in heels every Tuesday night, or is it every other Tuesday now?
Every other. My ankles got sore.
Copy that. So.
Ooh, where we could go with that.
So I guess, we could talk about it for days and days and days. But I think
and still not know what we're talking about. So
we'll not know what we're talking about.
We never know what we're talking about.
A real funny story When I was moving to South Florida, I was coming from Chicago, and I had a car that I was transporting. And as I was very coincidental, as I was going across the mountains in Tennessee, I had American Top 40 on, and Casey Kasem is doing this whole thing about Tina Turner and the town she's from. I was literally passing through that town at the time. It was just one of those things, but it was kind of weird at the time. So with all that, I think we'll get us back on track. Bill, you get to participate in this for a change.
Hey, look at that.
And
Feel privileged.
we're going to make everybody feel better. And it's now time for we're going to move on with the regular show. It's time for the Radio TFI Market Watch. It's the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Pete and Tony's down by the highway. Tina Turner's always on the jukebox. Uber closed the week at $38.45, down 73 cents. Lyft closed the week at $8.38, up 27 cents. Tesla closed the week at $193.17, up $13.03. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch. I promise you, we'll never do it with Bill here again.
Good.
All right, so one more thing, John, I'm going to get out there before, and we'll hand it back to you. And happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody.
Well, happy Memorial Day to you too, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you. All right. Well, folks, actually, we're ending the Market Watch with something we used to do a lot of, and that is a industry-related story, if you will. Now, I hate to say it because it's not really the taxi industry, although this could have affected what's left of the taxi industry in Minnesota. I'm talking specifically Minnesota here, but it could have affected the taxi industry. The Minnesota State Legislature had passed a bill saying that that Uber and Lyft, for that matter, had to pay their drivers a living wage, and I think that was something basically of the amount of around $15 an hour. Now, when I give you that amount, I don't know if that's $15 an hour before their expenses or after their expenses, but I'm going to pretend for a minute that those idiots knew what they were doing and made it after. But maybe it was before. Who knows? But anyways, it got to the governor's desk, and lo and behold, he vetoed the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not believe it. And the reason why they did this was because Uber came flat out and said, if you pass this bill, we're going to pull out of greater Minnesota. They didn't say they were going to pull out of the Twin Cities. They were going to pull out of greater Minnesota. Cities like Rochester, Duluth, possibly the Moorhead area. And there are a couple of other. St. Cloud has Uber service. And so they were going to pull out of greater Minnesota, except for the service that would allow them to pay the drivers that amount of money, that $15 an hour or whatever they're talking about there. So basically, the governor of Minnesota, who I have been very fond of his performance to this point, I can't believe he vetoed that bill.
I can.
Well, do you know the whole story? There could be more backlines to that. You know, there could be other things in that bill just besides that.
Oh, Bill, you're so cute when you think you know what you're talking about. Here's what happened, John, and you know it as well as I do. It's a paper sack full of cash.
Obviously.
That's what got to him. Because what other industry in the world expects you to bring all the tools, maintain all the tools, and not give you a hand in negotiating the price for your services?
Yeah, even the taxi cab industry gave the companies at least some input into what it was, how they negotiated the price, even though the price.
Taxi companies, the rate is set. The rate doesn't fluctuate. Well, at least it never used to. But, you got in, your ride to the airport was going to be the same $18 every time you took it, give or take $1 for traffic. With Uber, it could be $10, it could be $150.
Yeah, right.
And what's the driver see out of that? Nothing.
Exactly.
They get nothing out of that. Very, you can't expect somebody to operate a vehicle safely and pay them $1 something an hour, a couple of dollars, and literally. Go ahead, Bill.
Then answer me this question, then, please.
I'm sorry. The proper format is riddle me this, Barton. Riddle me this. Barton.
Why the hell's everybody do it? If you don't get paid worth of crap, you don't. What's the point in being an Uber driver?
Sit back for a second, pal. Maybe
please,
if you, I'm gonna tell you,
Mr. Van Ness, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. The reason they do it is A, they think they're going to make money. B, they don't understand how operating a vehicle for hire truly works. They see numbers that are not really. Nobody takes into account what it costs to operate a car. Okay.
Exactly.
They don't take into account the wear and tear, the beating your car takes. They don't understand that dealing with customers is not always a chippy and fun experience. They don't understand the passengers don't give a flying good crap how nice your car is. They're going to beat the hell out of it anyway. I'm sorry, John.
Or how nice you are, the driver is.
That's right. None of that matters. But you don't have to. You need a face and four wheels to become an Uber driver. The entry bar is so low. Why, even you could do it, Mr. Fancher. Bad knee and all.
I doubt that.
Oh, I don't. I don't for a second. But they're under the impression that they're making money, and they're not. They think, oh, all I have to do is put gas in the car. And if I buy a hybrid, well, gas is going to cost me less. Well, you still have insurance, which, by the way, unless you have commercial insurance, you're not properly covered. Nobody in your vehicle is covered. We've done entire shows about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they do it? Because they can't do anything else. And they somehow think
I didn't want to be the one to say that, but that was my
Why? Why do you think a lot of people got into the cab business? Oh, gee, all I need is a driver's license. Well, not, okay, you get a hack license. Most places it's not that hard. As long as you don't have right now, a DUI in your past, you're pretty much golden. You're pretty much golden, but at least you're registered with the state, the city, the county, whatever the governing body may be. Here with Uber, please. I created, I don't know how many phony accounts with phony names. Oh, it's sad. Sad. And they don't care. They don't care. They just put them out there, and and I've taken calls. I've taken work with those under those phony names. So,
and I tell you, I for one don't want to believe that that Governor Walz here was taking any cash for this. The only reason I say that is because Uber had to come out and make a threat about it. They actually come out and say, we're going to pull our service. What I thought was funny about that was that we're only going to pull our service in greater Minnesota, where there's less options where there's less options for people to get around,
Right.
as
Right.
as here in Minnesota or in the Twin Cities.
Right. So, look, this has been their standard ploy for years. One of the first places they did it was Broward County, where I was living. Oh well, we're gonna, and they perpetuated the myth that Broward County had kicked them out. Nobody kicked anybody out. Oh, we heard it from well, the county kicked Uber out. No, Uber left on their own. They didn't like the fact that they were going to have to abide by rules. When it stops going Uber's way, that's when they get all pissy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to leave. We're going to stop. We're going to do this. We're going to look. No other business that you know of operates like this. Can operate like this.
The NRA.
NRA doesn't actually hire people.
They're really not a business anyway.
No, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time.
So
as far as Uber, and remember, Uber wants to pile as many people on the street as they can. It's always been their quote unquote business model. They don't really have a business model, but the one they have sucks. So what's the difference to them if there's 10 cars sitting at an intersection? And then somebody gets picked up real quick, and sure, hey, the customers are going, hey, look, I got picked up real fast. Yeah, because there's 9 other clowns sitting there now. Trust me, as someone who was sat on a cab stand waiting for my turn on a slow Tuesday night in August at the dead time of year, you laugh. I have sat 4 and 5 hours. And John's done it. But at least with the taxi industry, the number of cars was limited. Okay, with Uber, it's put as many as you like on the road. The more people out there, the less cheese there is for the mice.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, are you clear on that?
Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me.
Kind of in a way.
Huh. The more drivers, the better. That way we don't have to pay them. I don't get it.
I don't have to pay them anyway.
That's it.
If I want to be an Uber driver, I have to buy the car. I have to maintain the car. I have to do everything.
Then explain to me, Mr. Van Ness and Mr. Shannon, how in the hell does Uber make any money?
There's the trick question. They don't.
They don't?
They don't. Not really. Not really.
How far is Uber's stock value slid since the day they
Oh God. Oh,
understandable.
Let's see. Where are they today? They're at 38.45. It's
more than half.
It's more than half, yeah. They understand that their stock value, Bill, since they've gone public, not even for the first nanosecond did it make money. It dropped. It literally immediately it dropped. It has never held its
would have gone in the toilet.
It's made for the CEOs, the big cheeses, if you will. It's made money for them, but for anybody else, it has no squat.
Just like I said, that's right there at the top of the pyramid.
Right. They were very good for a while at getting investment money. Although a lot of that is dried up too. It's taken longer than I expected. It's taken longer than I expected, but I mean, I guess as long as the top dogs are getting paid, then the scam will continue. And Uber has long had a history of lying. Their big claim at first was we're safer than taxis. That's an unprovable. They got fined for that. They eventually got fined for that. We're safer. We're helping to stop drunk driving. No, you're not. And I'll say this again. Of course, I've said this many, many times. You can put 1,000 cabs in front of a drunk. The drunk has to get in the cab.
Right, exactly.
Okay, until they or their buddies or whatever, until that person is in the back seat of the vehicle, you ain't done nothing. Trust me, I used to sit on. There was this huge nightclub, held 5,000 people, and we had a cab line. At times, it'd be 20 cabs long, and that line could move and empty out inside of 5 minutes. There were so many people.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched a lot of people walk right by every cab.
Oh, absolutely. Get right in their car in the parking lot.
Right in their car. In the park, we were in the parking lot in that situation. You can't talk people out of their cars. I have had situations where I get a call from the police. Take this guy home. And he wants to go right back to his car. I picked up a guy at the hospital once, at the ER, in the middle of the night. Drunk as a skunk, had been in an accident. Somehow they had gotten his car to the hospital parking lot. He gets in the cab. He says, "Oh, you can let me off at the end of the parking lot. I'm going to drive home." I said, "You can do that, but I'm going to call the cops on you. You know, I'll let them know." But you cannot. My point is, Uber's claim that, and you'll still hear people, "Oh, Uber helps with the drunk driving." No, it doesn't. Not driving while you're drunk helps with the drunk driving. It's nice to have options. I will never say if the choice is drive drunk or get in an Uber. Get in the Uber.
Right.
Okay. Get in the Uber. Get in whoever will get you home safe and keep the rest of the people safe. But to say, well, they're solving drinking and driving. No, I think I could pull up. You know, I think it's pretty easily verified that they're not. And again, Uber has never been about the driver ever. At first, it appeared so. Oh, at first they were making money hand over fist. They were paying drivers. Hell, they were getting per mile 50 cents less than the taxis were making. Hell, I thought about taking all my cabs and making them Ubers.
Yeah.
But as it turns
That
out, it didn't take long for them to, and they were only taking 20%. Now they take 50, 60% of the fare.
Which, well, then that's only if the fare. I mean, right now there are Uber fares that are
they're all over the place. You don't know from city to city, from minute to minute. You don't know. One thing Uber did for me demonstrated to me that the taxi companies are not the biggest pieces of crap in the world.
Yeah.
And believe you me, John will tell you. You can look back when it was just taxis. I'll be the first to admit, as an industry, we were living high off the hog. Okay, right. We needed to be taken down a notch because we were so accustomed. No, that's the truth. Okay, we were so accustomed to having it our way. All right. So we did need things to be shaken up a little bit. There's no question about it. I've said that from day one. Because that's another thing you would hear. Oh, you're afraid of the competition. No, I just like to play by the same rules. You know, I could get into, again, that whole thing. But Uber's never been about playing fair. It's never been about anybody making money except the top dogs. One of the top dogs, the founders of Lyft, is out. And it was Lyft that started the make-believe taxi business, not Uber. Mm-hmm. Uber saw what was going on and said, we're going to get us a piece of that.
Oh, yeah. I still remember the famous pink mustaches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for Lyft. Oh, Bill's looking at us. Oh. You used that. And the fist bump. Don't forget the fist bump. When you ordered a Lyft, the car would have on the front a pink mustache. And when the passenger got in the car, the secret password was a fist bump.
Ooh, that is just, I mean, it's like the Russian and the Germans and the coding machines, the Enigma machines. Wow.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, it wasn't a secret.
I guess not. But
It
then
wasn't a
here's the
secret.
other thing: is how many of these Uber and Lyft drivers that somebody called and opened the door and said, "How are you, my Uber driver? Yeah, get in," and then they wound up getting raped and murdered and all that kind of hoo ha.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's. I used to use the scenario of little Brittany, 22-year-old Brittany, is downtown Fort Lauderdale partying with all her pals. Decides she's drunk as a skunk. She's going to go home. She orders an Uber. It says it's a gray Toyota, and this one particular street, Himmershey Street. It's one lane each direction. There's 100 bars on this one little stretch, and so traffic is at a crawl. So Brittany would see the first gray Toyota. Are you my Uber driver? And here's Mr. Bad Guy who now has a cute little drunk girl. Sure I am. Get in. Brittany's never heard from again.
Why don't they do like Domino's Pizza and all those other things and just put a damn sign on the roof or something?
Oh, here's why. Well, first off, they had little lights inside the car, little signs that say Uber Lyft, which, by the way, you can buy on the internet. You don't have to.
Okay.
Second of all, and there are cars that drive with signs on top that say Uber. Ubers and Lyft are not permitted to pick up street hails. You cannot legally, in most jurisdictions, be advertising yourself. I was looking for near the end when I was, just scraping by and desperate, and when I was out there and trying to use the apps, and I was looking to get a top light that didn't say anything on it, just blank. Mm-hmm. So when I drove up and down Lauderdale Beach, people would think it was a cab. And I had a meter. I had my own. There was an app. There was a meter that I could run, and I did it a couple times, but I never got the light. But I felt good about it because I had the proper insurance and all that. But
ladies and gentlemen, Ed Van Ness never saw the light.
He saw the light. He didn't like the prices he had to pay for the light.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Well, I also didn't want the wires running down the side of my van. But it is. They've never been about the people. They've never been about. Look. When an Uber car breaks down, does Uber care? Nope.
He's not my problem.
He's not my problem. Does Uber know that most of their drivers also work for Lyft and whoever else may be out there? Yep. Do they care? They might, but there's nothing they can do about it. Because the first time they get rid of somebody for, well, you can't work for the other company. Oh, that makes me an employee then. Game changes. And
don't make me sign a no competition clause.
Well, that's the greatest thing in the world would be if they made people do that. Now that makes them employers. Now the whole ball game changes.
The ball game changes.
Everything changes. But yeah, so I read a little bit about that story in Minnesota. And of course that is right down Uber's lane. We'll stomp off in a hissy fit, but not where we're making money.
You know what I don't understand is why these politicians don't call their bluff. Fine, do it. Go ahead.
Because the people that donate heavily to them are in Uber's pockets.
Bunch of.
Well, I'll tell you.
Hold on 1 second, John. I just want to. One of the smartest things Uber ever did was to get things done at state level. Okay, because individual towns can't ban them now. But before that happened, in Broward County, our county commissioners, there's 9 people on that board, 8 Democrats, 1 Republican. And yet they still kept passing laws. Oh, the Democrat, Chip LaMarca. Oh, he and I went round and round. And he's a Trumper. But no matter what, you could get up there and tell people, look, here's this, here's how that works. They didn't care. They didn't care one iota. They could care less because why? Because little paper bags were being left at bus stops.
Well, I still remember. As a matter of fact, I even sent old Jacob Fry a tweet. He was a lowly city councilman for the city of Minneapolis when Uber and Lyft were busting down the door. And oh my God, he made it was so sad because it wasn't so obvious except for the fact that he all of a sudden after all this jumping up and down for Uber, all of a sudden had a hell of a war chest to run for mayor of Minneapolis after that. And I don't
amazing how that happens.
I don't doubt for a minute that he will go for a higher office.
Well, the same thing happened with Chip LaMarca. It was in all the papers. He was his house had been foreclosed on, and he was in debt up to well past. And he's short too, so being in debt up to his nose was not that big of a thing. But suddenly Uber comes to town, and he's flush. He's flush. He's got money. House is paid off. Everything's paid off. Mm-hmm. And you can't convince me otherwise.
Nobody called the IRS?
You know,
I
didn't say he was stupid.
Well, that's one of those things where the IRS, I'm sorry, John, they knock on the door and go, you're living above your means. Can you explain this to us, Lucy?
Lucy.
But I just took Governor Walz has been so above that throughout his term in a year now since he's been in office, and he's always seemed to be above all of this. And man, oh man, well, the one thing he did is, and I guess I can give him a little credit for it. He said that there was going to be a meeting. They were actually going to get together and discuss this, because this was something that Uber just dropped on them, just, like that. And, and I can understand it where it would put some people who are not involved with this in any other way than the fact that they need a freaking ride. I could see where it could put a few people in a pickle. So I kind of get that. But good Lord, come and talk to people that, that know what's going on. Okay, maybe St. Cloud doesn't have any taxi services per se, but I know that they have services that do other sorts of transportation. Just like right now, that's what 95% of what we do is other types of transportation. And we even got to the point where we're still getting calls. We're finally saying, okay, well, we're not a cab service anymore. We're no longer subject to the meter that to the city wanting to charge this much money. So we're saying, okay, $10 minimum in Minneapolis, $15 minimum anywhere else in the Twin Cities. That's our rates. So if some other operation is charging more or less, well, that's on them. That's right. What we feel is fair.
Well, one of the examples we use quite often was, all right, boo-hoo, you don't have transportation, but does that also mean that I can open up that restaurant on the corner? Oh, I don't want to be bothered with permits and health department and all that. It'll be easier for me. I can feed more people if I don't have to follow the rules. Wink, wink. Yeah. Look, I feel so good about how my heart surgery went. I feel that I'm prepared to start cutting people open and fixing them. Oh, medical school licenses, insurance.
Well, see, that's the way it wasn't. That was the way it was in the military when you were doing things. See one, do one, teach one.
Yeah. Look, right now Uber is doing everything they can. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They've got a phone number now, and they're making it so people don't need credit cards. They are bouncing their way towards successfully becoming a 1970s cab company. All this wonderful innovation. We're going to have a phone number. Yeah, we've done that. Oh, we're going to charge a set rate. We've done that.
What do you say we get off of this horse?
Yes. Moving on.
Moving on. All right. Well, hold on. Now I lost my damn train of thought.
Chugga, choo, choo.
No, it's funny because we rarely get into subjects these days that take us 40 minutes or so of the show, 30 minutes, but after all the other
doesn't matter. Keep going. You don't have to explain it. Go ahead. We get it.
Don't explain it, Lucy.
I explain whatever I want to explain. Dig?
So dare your mammy, boy.
That's it.
Easy.
Yeah, you have to. There's a story. I'll have to tell you guys this off air.
That's. What do you got next on your topic list, John? Just pick one.
I'll pick one. I might even pick two if they're small. All right. So, Ronald Reagan. I stumbled across a video here of Ronald Reagan addressing it. It sounded like a group of supporters. I don't think it was anybody in any official thing other than the fact he was just talking to people that like him. So he was talking about guns, and of course, everybody pictured Reagan as this gung ho, shoot him if you got him type mentality for as far as guns go, and he actually kind of surprised me in this here little speech he gave. So I just so happen to have it, believe it or not. Here, take a load of this.
California has a system, unlike that of many other states, in which when you go in to buy a gun, you put down your money and you buy the gun, but you don't get to pick up the gun for several days, because investigation is then made to make sure that you're not a felon, that you don't have a record of bad conduct, or that you are mental illness or anything, and then you can come back and get your gun. And I do not believe in taking away the right of the citizen to own guns for sporting, for hunting and so forth, or for home defense. But I do believe that an AK-47, a machine gun, is not a sporting weapon or needed for defense.
Some bitch, a Republican said that?
Not only a Republican, Ronald Reagan.
The Republicans' God.
Yeah, now, yeah. They all pray at the altar of Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
But what's really sad about that is that when Trump ran, nobody at all mentioned Ronnie. Nobody at all. And
well, now they will. Ron DeSantis. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
And by the way, John, what did we find out this week?
Oh, we found out a lot of things, but what specifically are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that our hashtag Big Time Professional Radio, we do better than Ron DeSantis and Elon Musk combined.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So,
and we ain't doing that great.
So bite my shiny metal, you know what?
I don't think.
No, Ron, you're not invited.
Yeah, no, that's it took this weasel bag all this time to finally announce. And when he did, it was a disaster. I don't know how many of the Trumpers are going to go along with this. It's going to be fun. I want to see them, although the Republicans don't want to debate now. I would love to see them go after each other on a stage.
Well, yeah, that would be great.
It'd just be just a bunch of insults. They won't discuss anything.
That's okay because, like it or not, that's what Trump does.
That's it. It'd be good comedy.
And he has no filter.
No,
he has no.
And
filters.
that's why he's getting sued again by Eugene Carroll.
He couldn't shut his mouth.
You stupid ass. Now we're gonna double the compensatory damages that you incurred the first time. My oh my, are you stupid?
Is that what they finally decided, or does it have to go through the process again?
No, that's what the petition asked for was at least $10 million.
Because remember, the first time she never asked for an amount.
No, she didn't.
That's what the jury gave her. And not that she'll ever get it from him, but
no, he doesn't pay anybody. Ask his lawyers. No. That's why they're all jumping ship and narking his ass out now too.
How does he keep an attorney? I don't understand.
Well, you got the law firm of Curly, Larry, and Moe out there. So,
do we find him in Tatum?
Yeah, huh? And they're probably attorneys that been chasing ambulances for years, and now all of a sudden, I get a big client like Donald Trump. Yeah, well, you worked your butt off for all of that, and next thing you know, you're under indictment.
You're under indictment. Yeah, yeah. So good luck with that.
Hey, to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. Ex Michael Cohen, how that works out. How you're loyal.
I'm right.
Have none of them figured out yet. Trump is loyal to no one but Trump.
That's it. His niece said that in her book too.
Right. Well,
I mean, how many times do you have to pee on the electric fence before you get shocked? I mean, come on.
Apparently, this guy's got rubber pee.
Yeah, rubber boots or something. I don't know.
Now, unfortunately, all this stuff is going to drag out. But, excuse me. Look. He's not a young man, and that's fine. I just want to see him in the orange jumpsuit. I want to see him without his hair products.
And without his makeup.
Without his bronzer and all that. And that'll send the Trumpers wild. They'll go crazy when that happens.
We had a judge down here that told this guy that during the trial, the guy kept mouthing off. They sent him off, one time. They brought him back out of the goodness of his heart, and he kept mouthing off. And the judge duct taped him right in the courtroom. I said, "You are now my hero."
Yeah, well, that happens. There was a case that was about 6 months ago that was ongoing. Guy who ran down a bunch of people up in Wisconsin, and he was acting as his own attorney. And the judge, to her credit, she didn't give him any shot at an appeal by losing her cool. And they would take him out of the courtroom, put him in the next courtroom, shut his mic off. He could watch the proceedings, but he couldn't. Yeah, some people just, they're going to be like that, and you have to treat them like that. It's if you're not willing to. What I wouldn't give. I'd pay a lot of money to see Trump on a witness stand.
Oh man, no kidding. Oh,
I want to see him cross-examined. I want to see him cross-examined by a first-year law student, let alone an experienced attorney. That's what I want. Just anybody, really.
Vinny Gambini.
You'd hear Trump go, "You can't handle the truth."
Handle this, Mr. Trump.
But no, trying to get back to where I was going to with this point. was the fact that people. I mean, can you imagine that had been Ronald Reagan today?
Oh, he'd have gotten booed off the stage.
Right.
It wouldn't have even been. And then you wonder why. It's what's going to wind up happening now if the right wing keeps going the way they're going. You know, all of a sudden you're going to see a few more potent weapons showing up. Maybe you get a rocket launcher. Somebody will, and shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. Yeah, there we go.
Carrying an RPG in your backpack.
I want to see somebody sue the NRA for not being allowed to bring their handguns into the NRA convention.
I think that'd be a hell of a thing to see.
I'm sure they would blame it on the venue. I'm sure they would say, well, the venue doesn't allow that. Really? You're the NRFNA. You know, you would think you would find a venue where firearms were welcome and with open arms and, you know, bleeding torsos.
But it's just
but no.
Isn't it about time to take your medicine again there, Bill?
Blah.
By the way, Bill had knee surgery Friday. And he is, I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't expect to see you today. I was kind of counting on it, but you know,
I'm a gamer, man.
You're a something or other. I made up an extra special set of graphics, presumably. Here. I put a lot of work into it. Into you not being
and then
here.
I screwed it all up and showed up.
But anyway, let's officially ask on the air. How you feeling today, Bill?
Still on the green side of the grass.
All right. When can we expect the tap dancing spectacular?
Oh, that's going to take a few weeks yet.
Is it now? Okay. Well, we look forward to that here.
I'm looking forward to it also.
It's the end of May, kids. How did that happen?
Oh, this month went by quick.
Man, they all went by quick.
It's because we've all been holding our breath on the debt ceiling.
Well, that's not what I've been holding my breath on.
Well, you know.
Sure, Bill got his check. That's all he's concerned
That's right. I don't care about the rest of you. Screw you.
Go.
Screw you. I'm going home.
So the little bit that I've seen about it, okay, they've come to some sort of an agreement. It seems like they'll be bouncing McCarthy out of there any time now. And because apparently it's not what.
Well, this was all they were going to run this down to the last minute anyway. It's like every bad TV show we've ever seen. You know, it's always the last 1 second left. They hit the timer, cut the cord or whatnot. So it wasn't going to really matter because Biden was going to flop out the 14th Amendment and keep things running. He was just hoping that the Republicans would come up with something that he could say, okay, well, we made a deal.
And again, to me, proving once again, excuse me, that the current Republican Party could give a flying rat's patootie about the American people.
Yeah.
They do not care.
Well, somebody said that what they wanted to do was to make it crash and that they could turn around in 24 and blame it on Biden.
Right.
The Democrats did this. The Democrats did this.
Right. Anyway.
But they were so ready to tackle inflation and the price of gas.
So
and
day one.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for day one.
Yeah.
They didn't say which day. They said day one.
Day one. That says to me the first day.
Yeah, the day
has the first
one in it.
Well, the first day they had to figure out how to elect a speaker. The second day they had to figure out how to elect a speaker.
All the way up to 2 weeks.
Yeah, whatever it was. And
that should have given you just enough. That should have given you just enough to look at to see what the hell did I do electing these guys?
Not me, baby.
Majority.
Not me. But you know, the people that vote these clowns in, they don't care. They're hearing what they want to be told. And he's he says he's going to do this for me. Okay,
Since when did anybody believe what a politician said he was going to do for you?
Look at anybody who tattoos Trump on their ass. I mean, that's a cult. That's a cult.
Well, there's no other way to put it, but
I mean, yes, I vote for certain politicians and all that. I don't go around, painting my car with their name on it and all that. It's you get elected, do your job, and we'll see you in a couple of years. I'm not following everything you say. Oh my goodness! I mean, it's
that veto sign that I had in the back behind me here for a while. Yeah, Lori might have done something with it. I don't know, but that's the first time I've ever owned a yard sign. That's the first time I've ever contributed to a candidate ever. I don't.
Excuse me.
No, I was the same way, dog. I'd never done it in my life.
I have voted in every election that I could legally vote in,
and a few he couldn't.
I keep thinking that I voted for Reagan against Carter, but I didn't because
I trust you did not.
I was still too young.
He was too young for that.
That was my first presidential election.
Yep, Carter Reagan was my first one.
Carter Reagan.
And sorry, boys, I voted for Reagan.
I thought yours was Wendell Willkie.
Well,
I thought it was Dewey.
I would have. I don't feel bad, Bill. I would have as well. I hate to say this, but my thoughts on Jimmy Carter was he runs around smiling too much. He's got something to hide. I can't trust somebody that's all day long.
Take a moment. President Carter's in hospice now,
and I understand that. And
look, I'm happy to see that he gets the love now while he's still here.
Exactly.
And the appreciation.
He's gotten more respect since he's out of office than he did when he was in office, and that's just wrong.
I love the videos of him just getting on a plane and shaking everybody's hand. I mean, the man is. We truly didn't deserve him. He's too good. Unfortunately, we had the Iran hostage thing at the time, which really hurt him as far as re-election goes. That was something no president should have to deal with.
No, it's understandable.
And but anyway,
never had to deal with something like that. He wanted a nice, peaceful world. That was his dream.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't unrealistic about things. But but that situation was. I mean, look, I was 20 at the time, 19, 20. I was very much aware of what was going on because it was all over the news. You were a little younger, John. I don't know where you were on that. It was clear that they held on to those poor people until Reagan was inaugurated.
Oh, they were worried off the end of the earth what he was going to do when he took oath.
Yeah. But they also wouldn't release them until Carter was
they weren't going to release him until he actually took the oath.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
well, and here's the thing: it makes you wonder: was there some shenanigans there?
Questions for another time.
Yep. I'll have to leave that at that, but think about it. Anyways, that's it for hour number one. We'll be back after a short break, I'm told, and we'll be back with hour number two with all the goodies there. You're listening to the Taxi Stand Hour on Radio TFI.
You know you're bound to drive me away. Yes. Yes, dear. Yes, I'm listening. Oh, I heard every word you said, honey. Yes. Yes, dear. Oh, I agree. You're right. You're always right. Yes, dear.
for closing the door. I appreciated the effort, but all you did was unleash.
You've found Just Killing Time with John and Ed.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
On Radio TFI. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. If you are watching live, the comment section is open. From a payphone, call collect.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same. Photoshop itty bitty models on magazine covers told me I was overweight. I stopped eating, what a bummer. Can't have carbs in a hot girl summer. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, psst. I know Victoria's Secret, girl, you wouldn't believe. She's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. I wish somebody would have told me that thighs of thunder meant normal human thighs. The fucking pressure I was under to lose my appetite and fight the cellulite with hunger gains like every night. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, hey, dummy. I know Victoria's Secret, girl, you wouldn't believe. She's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. I know Victoria's Secret. Girl, you wouldn't believe. She's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. I know Victoria's Secret. Girl, you wouldn't believe. She's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was never made for me and you.
Okay, and we are back. And just killing time. I stumbled on something. You know, that happens more than I care to talk about. But
Yeah.
anyways. Really?
Can't hear you, John.
Excuse
Can't
me?
hear you. There you. Well, now I can hear you.
Well, goddamn.
Because, oh, Jesus.
Come to the rehearsals, please.
Hmm.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Start up on my damn paycheck.
Yeah, You need some of my drugs?
Just introduce the show, please.
Hey, here we go.
Welcome back to the Taxi Stand Hour on Radio TFI and on the Radio TFI streaming network, where we are just killing time here, literally.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny. Come on, dog.
We already got that introduction out of the way. So, anyways, from the ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com studio in St. Paul, Minnesota, I'm John Shannon. Over here to my left in the Radio TFI executive tower is the ringmaster himself, Mr. Ed Van Ness. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, kids and kittens. We trust you've had a fine and fantastic week. Once we take care of the young man, the other guy, I want to talk about that song that we just played. Ladies and gentlemen, from Miss Jelly Donut, 1974. Bill.
Oh, I abdicated that crown. I'm
sorry. I'll update my notes. Good morning, Bill.
Yes, good morning, all.
So anyway, the song that we just played, a song called Victoria's Secret by a young lady named Jax. I heard that for the first time a couple of months ago. I was in a CVS, and it was playing over and I caught the lyrics. You know, I know Victoria's Secret. She's an old man that lives in Ohio. I said, "Oh, this is," and I eventually looked up the song, and it's the story behind it is something. The young lady Jack, she babysits for a younger girl. Younger girl was they live in L.A. A young girl, Chelsea, who I guess was about 10 or 11. She is now. They were going to have their first boy-girl party, her and her little friends. So they go to a Victoria's Secret to buy bikinis, or someplace to buy bikinis, to buy bathing suits. And one of the snobby girls said to her, "Oh, you're too fat and too flat." You know, these are the body issues that young girls have to deal with. We don't have that problem. We never did. So that's where the song comes from. And I've watched a couple of videos with her. And this Jack, she's a hoot and a holler. She's a hoot and a holler. But I find the song not only funny, but to the point, too.
Oh, no doubt. It was hilarious.
I mean, it's a great little rock and roll tune, too. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was, we give it a little exposure there. And, but that's that for that. We've... That's all I got for that. John, you still playing with us, or you still having lunch?
No, I'm here just waiting for you.
Okay, well, I'm done.
Okay, that's good. Are you sure you're done?
I'm done. You tell me what you want to do.
Bill, are you sure you're
Who knows? Whoever really knows what these things.
All right, Maestro, play the music.
They both stop.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm done.
All right, we got a few birthdays to bring up here this particular week, going on and through the 3rd of June, rather. Excuse me, 3rd of June. That we'll be going through here. Man, oh man, oh man. The month is definitely flying by. All right, here we go. Today, we got a couple of birthdays here today. Jerry West turns 85 years old, basketball.
Wow. The man that they
the NBA logo.
The NBA logo.
He's the NBA logo. Mm-hmm.
And who was the MLB logo?
Oh, I knew this. I knew this. Go ahead.
And they asked him about it one time. He said, "Nah, I don't think that was." It was Harmon Killebrew.
Ah, okay.
All right, another well-known singer, turns 79 today. Mrs. Gladys Knight.
Miss Knigget.
And just don't say that again.
No,
Just don't say that again.
it did kind of come off a little worser than I thought it would.
Yeah. That's treacherous.
It's a Monty Python thing. So if you're wondering,
How old was she, John? I'm sorry.
79.
How old is that in pips?
oh, that was a long way around the studio. Wow.
Sometimes you got to take the mountain road to get there.
God, no crap. Hey.
All right, tomorrow, Carmelo Anthony turns 39.
Quick, who knows who Carmelo Anthony is? Bill?
NBA player.
There you go.
Started out with Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I know he was with the Knicks at some point.
All right, also on Monday, this one surprised the hell out of me. LaToya Jackson is 67.
Really?
What? Yeah, but her plastic surgery is 84.
Well, that very well be.
She desperately tried to be her brother.
Yeah, because did you notice you never saw them together in the same picture?
You said the same thing about Diana Ross.
That's it.
All right, going on to Tuesday now. CeeLo Green turns 48 years old.
One of the greatest songs ever written as far as the melody goes, the music. It's called F.U.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
And it's
take
got
your
the
word for it.
greatest music. There's a clean version and the dirty version. And
Well,
I
what's
have
the point in
both.
listening to the clean version?
There's not. There's
Yeah.
well, I mean, TV and all that, but
Well,
the
boo-hoo.
video is hilarious. Go to YouTube, CeeLo Green, F.U., and you'll be glad you did.
F you, you SOB.
That's Mr. SOB to you.
Yeah.
We're done, John. We're
Thank
done.
you. All right, you may not know who this is. It's the gentleman's name is Sean Giambone, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, thank you.
Sean who? Jim Bone?
Giambrone.
Yeah, you got me.
I you know what? Have either one of you ever watched the Goldbergs?
Oh,
Yes.
God. Yeah.
Sean is the little nerd boy.
Oh, okay.
I can't even think because I don't watch that show very often. But
One who
No, I've
played
just
that-
seen it every now and then.
The one who played Adam Goldberg.
yeah, that's the one.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
happy birthday to him. He's out of a job now, but the show ended. It's
Yeah. All right, Wednesday here. Brooke Shields turns 58 years old.
No way. I want to say she's forever 14, but we'll stick with forever 21.
Thank you, Mr. Van Ness. Let's
I had
not
her in
make
my
it
cab.
creepy. Let's
I had
not
her in
make
my
it
cab.
creepy.
I had her in my cab once.
I'm not going to touch that line.
No, I did. Her and her mom. Bob Hope was in Fort Lauderdale filming, wait for it, a Christmas special.
No.
No, but in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Well, exactly.
The main downtown shopping street, Los Olas Boulevard. They did a number there, and they had it all covered in snow and Christmas lights. It's like, this street has never seen snow. Anyway, happy birthday, Brookie.
It was just like when they were filming Jingle All the Way up here in Minnesota in the summertime and had to truck in snow. It's like, God, please, people, we see enough freaking snow in here during the
Truck it in.
You're missing the point there, though, John. You expect snow in Minnesota. Los Olas Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale does not get. Anyway.
Well, you guys might have been happy to see it up here.
No, they shut down the street. It was terrible. I've actually been to a couple of Bob Hope special tapings. I went to one in Central Park when I was a kid. It's a thing. Moving on. I want to
All
tell
right.
you.
Also on Wednesday, Clint Eastwood says, "Go ahead and make my day," as he turns 93 years old.
I was going to say 185.
Go ahead, make my bed.
There you go.
I've got to know. Nobody ever remembers the other line. And who was it he says that to? It was Richard Roundtree.
Was that Richard Roundtree?
That was Richard Roundtree. He was going to shoot Shaft in the head.
Somebody had put together, one of the radio stations in South Florida put together, the whole Clint Eastwood thing. Well, and all the excitement, I lost track. Was it five or six? And then cut it in with Bugs Bunny begging for his life. I've never been able to find it again. Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Go ahead, make my birthday.
Okay.
93.
What did you say? It was 93? Okay.
93.
Also on Wednesday, Colin Farrell turns 47.
Happy birthday. Good actor.
Nobody cares. Move along.
His mother cares.
His mother.
All right. Also on Wednesday, Leah Thompson turns 62 years old.
Forever 21.
Oh.
And in the DeLorean.
And what a creepy role to have to make a pass at your son.
Yeah, exactly.
As
all right.
Lover.
The last one on Wednesday is Jordy Nelson turns 38 years old.
Who is Jordy Nelson?
Bill should know this.
The name is familiar, but I can't.
Does sound familiar.
Football player.
Okay. I was thinking it was a sports name, but I couldn't remember from. Oh, didn't he used to be a Green Bay Packer?
That's the one.
There you go. Okay.
No, well, that was helpful.
All right, on Thursday, one of my favorite actors of all time, Morgan Freeman, turns 86 years old.
I desperately wish I could do a Morgan Freeman impression.
Well, the one joke that I always liked was, if Morgan Freeman said it, it must be true.
That is exactly. My nephew can do it. Oh, by the way, Wednesday, I'll just leave this at that. Happy birthday, Chuckles. Turned 62. I'm sorry, 64. Same age as me.
Okay. Alanis Morissette turns 49 on Thursday.
Nope.
And one of the cutest actresses I've ever seen, Terry Polo, turns 54.
No. Forever 21. Oh, you know Terry Polo if you saw her.
Explain yourself.
Just write the name down and look it up later.
Terry Polo, like a chicken.
No, that's Pollo. That's two L's.
Yeah, well,
her name is one L.
Like the sport.
Pollo.
Okay.
Pollo, pronunciation. You have to know what you're saying, sir.
Okay.
And you're asking me to know what I'm saying?
Dame dos pollo, por favor.
Huh.
Anyways, Friday, Andy Cohen turns 55 years old.
Good for him.
What's the name of his show? Look what's happening. Talk what's happening. What's happening now?
What happens next, or something like that.
What happens? What's happening live? What's cooking?
All these damn housewife movie or shows, rather.
Well, he's the executive producer on all those.
Oh, good Lord!
And it immediately follows Who Gives an Ass.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and also on Friday, Wayne Brady turns 51 years old.
Oh, far out.
One of, if not the most talented people
Oh, no
on
doubt.
this planet. There's a video. There's a video out there. I watch Whose Line Is It Anyway. There's a video out there. He did Hamilton. He was on tour with Hamilton. And apparently, I guess wherever they go, like after the show, to raise money for whatever charity, the cast comes out and they'll poll. They did this one time. They poll the audience. They get 10 words, 10 completely unconnected words, and he makes a song out of it. A coherence. He is one of, if not the greatest improvs.
Oh, there was never any doubt about that.
Yeah. So happy. You know what, Wayne? He gets an extra one.
Now this one I found rather interesting. Last but not least, here on Saturday, Anderson Cooper turns 56.
Hmm.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Well, I hope Anderson enjoys his time in the silo.
In the silo.
Oh, you don't get the reference.
No.
Okay.
So, Johnny, I don't get it either. So,
all right, Trump.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Trump was on CNN a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
All right, this town hall. Well, the next night, Cooper comes on, and CNN got blasted by the critics and people in general, and Cooper said something like, "Well, maybe someday you all will come out of your silo and blah blah blah." Look, CNN's going down the tubes. They're turning it into right wing, and good luck for them. It's a shame.
But the reason I actually thought this was interesting, remember we said that Andy Cohen just turned 55.
Yes.
Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper have been doing the New Year's Eve shows for CNN for the last, and they're only a year apart, and on the same show.
And Andy Cohen gets stink-eyed drunk, and that's only because they wouldn't take Kathy Griffin back after the Trump head thing.
She caught way too much flack for that.
I thought so. Some flack, yes, but way too much.
Yeah, way too much.
Way too much flack for that.
I mean, look how Obama was treated.
Well, just for wearing a tan suit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
There's some show on Fox during the week, this week or the week before. I forget what they were talking about, but it was about how somebody looks. I don't know, some Republican woman, and one of them started blasting the rest of them, saying, "Are you kidding me?" Because there was, the Democrats, they're so mean to one. And she says, "Don't you remember what all the Republicans were saying about Michelle Obama for 8 years? She's a man, she's a monkey, she's this, And they still right, they still say it. But all right, we're done with birthdays for all that. I got something I want to talk about. So I had a nice night last night. I watched hockey and basketball. The Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA. Let me start there. Miami Heat are sucking wind. They had Boston 3-0. I've watched the past 2 games. The past 3 games. They can't even. I think they were ahead by 1 point once in one of those games. They played catch up for the last 3 games. Last night, it was literally a buzzer beater that beat them within. But now they got to go back to Boston for Game 7. They had them up 3-0. They've had three chances to wrap it up, and I don't have any special affection for the Heat. I went to a couple of games when they first appeared, back when Ronnie Cycli was still playing. Nobody knows who that is now. One of the original Heat. When they played at the old Miami Arena. I went to a couple of games the first year, and basketball, not usually my thing. And when Pat Riley showed up, that was when I
my man Pat. I love me Pat Riley. Always will.
And we had, I can't even remember the player's name, Mr. Potential. And I couldn't stand him. So I stopped paying attention. But more importantly, I watched the Western Conference Finals. I watched the game the other night in Dallas, Vegas Golden Knights versus the Dallas Stars. And Vegas had it. They had that game. It went into overtime. And they lost in overtime. Last night, they were in Vegas. I'm saying this is great because nobody puts on a show like Vegas does. And God, they got such a good team. And they've had since they came into the league. They made it to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year of existence in 2018. So they're aiming for their second trip. By the way, to play the Florida Panthers, who I was at their very first home game. Thank you very much. If you look in the crowd, you can. If you see a picture of the crowd of the first Florida Panthers game at home in the Miami Arena, you look for a little orange dot. That's me.
That's who that ugly sumbitch was I saw that time. Okay. I was wondering who that was.
So I'm watching the game last night, and I just like Vegas. I hate Dallas. I've been to Dallas. Sorry, don't care for it. I've been there 3 times. 3 times too many.
4 times too many.
4 times too many. Yeah. and I just Dallas got ahead 4-2, and it just killed me. Then now they got to go back to Dallas to finish this off. I really did want to see them finish it off. A good game, though. I mean, it was a good game. I know you guys aren't as big into hockey. I'm not huge into it anymore, but, I can enjoy a game like I did last night.
I loved hockey, Minnesota North Stars. Loved hockey.
Face the microphone, John.
I said I loved hockey when the Minnesota North Stars.
Well, that's who they were playing.
Well, but you see, they weren't in Minnesota.
Yeah, but they used to be the Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah.
And the schmucks don't win the Stanley Cup until they move to Dallas.
By the way,
a Minnesota curse.
One of the coolest logos ever was the Minnesota North Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's not used anymore. But
they have the North Stars logo floating around up here. Matter of fact, the Wild.
I'm sure.
The Wild have adopted their colors on it for specific games, even the green and gold.
Okay. Cool. Do they use the logo on the shirts or?
No,
I don't think they legally can.
Yeah, probably not. Well, that's why I was asking. I know Dallas, owns all that stuff, but it just asking.
You can go to a like a sports shop someplace, and you can actually buy breezers, North Stars gear, North Stars sweaters.
I'm not surprised. You can still buy Brooklyn Dodgers stuff for goodness sake. And they've been gone. They left before I showed up in New York. They beat feet out of here a year before I got here. Both of them. I scared 2 teams out.
They knew what was coming.
Speaking of knowing what's coming.
Can we move on from the sports segment that people care the least about?
What? Hockey, eh?
Hey.
It's a great sport, eh? Don't you know?
Hey,
I'm looking forward to a Stanley Cup final being played in Florida and the desert.
Mm-hmm.
The way hockey was intended.
The way it was intended to be. And I still say the one sport that is the most worthless to watch on television.
Hockey?
Yep. Hockey was meant for you to be there. to watch it.
I agree 100% that it's better in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
But with a little time and a little practice, you can. I mean, I'm not going to lie; it's tough to follow the puck sometimes. You know, I don't know how the cameramen do it.
It's easier now with HDTV.
Yes, much easier now. On the old black and white TVs, it was tough. But we didn't know any better, so we didn't know any better. And with that being said, as the Zamboni comes out to resurface the ice, John, that's your
$1. Call somebody who gives a damn.
Mr. Zamboni cares.
Put a little marinara on that Zamboni, it'd be just fine.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this hour here. Cue the band.
Wow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present the Battle of the One-Hit Wonders. Here's your match official, John Shannon.
All right, here we go. This is this week's challengers, which I think the I think the voting public kind of went yawn this week, to tell you the truth.
I can't even remember my song.
Well, what do you say? What do we say? We remind you there. This was from 1973. The group called New York City.
Oops.
Remember the day you up and left. I nearly cried myself to death. Oh yeah. And then I met someone else. She made me stop and get a hold of myself. Oh girl, I'm doing fine now.
I'm sorry. I still, when I very first heard that song back in '73, I thought it was the damn Spinners that were doing the song.
No,
that's right out of that. The Spinners, the Commodores, and all them guys. And okay,
you're just a crazy white guy who can't tell the difference.
That's pretty much true.
Pretty much it, exactly. All right, then here
that was a racial remark.
Kind of.
By the way, for those who didn't know, that song's title was "I'm Doing Fine Now."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, next up was from 1977. This was the Wilton Street Place Band.
Wilty, I'm home.
Oh.
Dance, dance, disco Lucy. All right, and here is your returning champion, the five-time.
Wait a minute, we have it. Oh, we're just going.
No, wait a minute. I thought this was.
No, we're recapping.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Recap. We have two crafty songs against Johnny's pull out of his ass pick.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, boys are back in town.
All right, that excuse me, the four-time
the defending champion.
The defending champion.
Now,
the boys are back in town from Thin Lizzy, and I honestly thought that this was they were defending now for the fifth time. But hey, things happen.
You don't
All
get
right,
paid
well,
enough to think.
just get it over with.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, what's the matter, Pasita? All right. Anyways, here is your winner. And you guessed it. Still, Battle of the One Hit Wonders champion. The boys are back in town.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say. But man, I still think them cats are crazy. They were asking if you were around, how you was, where you could be found. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. I said, boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 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 You know that chick that used to dance a lot? Every night she'd be on the floor shaking what she'd got. Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot. I mean, she was steaming. And that time over at Johnny's place, well, this chick got up and she slapped Johnny's face. Man, we just fell about the place. If that chick don't want to know, forget her. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. I said, boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 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 Spread the word around. Guess who's back in town? You spread the word around. Friday night they'll be dressed to kill down at Dino's Bar and Grill. The drink will flow and blood will spill. And if the boys wanna fight, you better let them. That jukebox in the bar blasting out my favorite song. The nights are getting warmer, it won't be long. Won't be long till summer comes. Now that the boys are here again. The boys are back in town. Boys are back in town. The 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 boys are back in town. Spread the word around. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back. The boys are back. Back in town again. Been hanging down at Dino's.
John is muted. He's going to come back. We're going to wake Bill up from his.
Sorry about that. I was muted. He was napping.
Hey, it's them mids, man.
Numbers, John. Let's get some numbers. By the way, I saw what the Twitter looked like, and let me put it this way, Bill. I would have at least had still have a finger moving at this point. There wasn't. Go ahead, John.
All right. Well, the total. Well, let's do this because let's make this nice and painful.
Make it nice and painful.
At least Disco Lucy did garner 2% of the total.
It did better than Horse.
Oh, excuse me. That was of the Twitter vote.
Yeah.
It did 15% of the Facebook vote.
Oh, shocking! They love me. They really, really love me.
Yeah, well, after you belittled the crap out of them last week.
Well, they belittled the crap out of me for years now.
Meanwhile, doing fine now by New York City. Definitely was a one-hit wonder. I'm surprised it actually made it to one hit, but
just tell me it did better than Horse, and I'll be happy.
Let's put it this way: it was 0% from Twitter.
Oh, you gotta love that.
0% from Facebook.
It's impossible because I voted for it on Facebook. That's impossible. I want to challenge the vote. That's BS.
That is fantastic. That is.
Oh man, I'm telling you, if you're gonna go big or go home.
That's you know what, a big double goose egg there. You can't.
That's impressive. Nobody will beat that.
No, you're right. You're right. Nobody will beat that. Nobody will beat that. But
I'm number one or zero, I guess. I don't.
Yep, you're number 0. You're where it all begins.
Well,
all right,
before we go any further, hold on, John. Before we go any further, Bill, this is for you to make you feel better. There you go. Why don't we do Bills? Do Bills first.
Hold on just a second. Grand totals 90% of the vote for Thin Lizzy and the boys are back in town. And
I even muted myself for that.
It's a bloodbath, I tell you.
10%. You got 10% there, Ed.
Yeah, 10%. Like I said, Bill, there's at least one of my fingers is still swimming around in the pool of blood. You got nothing. You got destroyed.
So this is going to be a good challenge. This one will be a very good challenge. Let's say this right off the top. So let's go with this one here first from 1973. This is Greg Allman. Here we did it again. From 1973, Midnight Rider by Greg Allman. Not a bad tune. Not a bad tune at all. There was some, I guess there was some, we were wondering if that was going to qualify as a one-hit wonder or not. And I don't know why I would have thought it didn't. But anyways, here it is, folks.
Blame him.
Well, it only reached number 49 on the U.S. charts, and he hadn't. Anyway, it's in. It's in. We've settled that. It's in.
We did the review before we even did the song.
There you go.
All right, now this one. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. First off, I think it was great timing on the portion of the presenter here, the one and only Ed Van Ness. But also, I happen to love this song. Absolutely love this song.
Oh God, I'm incredibly worried.
So let her roll here from the Bus Boys from 1982 from the 48 Hours soundtrack.
We've been waiting for a long time. Yes, we've been waiting for a long, long time. We've been waiting for a long time. But we ain't gonna wait no more. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a reason everybody should be shaking in the house tonight. And you should grab your favorite lady and promise her you'll do it right. Tell Fat Jack to jump back and give you a shot of some booze, so you can party to some stomp down, button bump and rock and roll, rhythm and blues. 'Cause the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Oh yeah. I know that everybody, when they hear the music, will be doing it on the floor. Jump up and down and turn around and tell the band to play some more. So tonight we can dance and romance and do anything we feel like doing. Don't look surprised, 'cause you know what I like. And tonight we ought to do it. 'Cause the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Oh yeah. Reason everybody should be shaking in the house tonight. And you should grab your favorite lady and promise her you'll do it right. Tell Fat Jack to jump back and give you a shot of some booze, so you can party to some stomp down, bud bump and rock and roll, rhythm and blues. 'Cause the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The boys are back in town. And when the boys are back, there ain't no fooling around. Yeah.
I absolutely love that song from 1982, The Bus Boys.
From the 48 Hours soundtrack with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy.
Exactly. But I got to tell you.
Bonus points if you know that.
Yeah, we knew that.
I got to tell you though, Ed,
Yeah.
not trying to be a Miss Pissy here or anything.
Yeah, but it's going to look real good on the Facebook and Twitter feed is who the hell you're voting for.
Oh, I will definitely fix that. Trust me.
Now, let's stop for a second. And remember last week? Remember last week with the all the negative stuff that came my way? And I said payback will be forthcoming. This is just the first part of it.
Blame Johnny.
Oh, no. You've got your own.
I was just laughing.
Yours is coming. Anyway, so now you'll have The Boys Are Back in Town, Midnight Rider, and The Boys Are Back in Town. Let's hope there's no confusion.
No, what people will do because I'm so confused. No, vote for Midnight Rider. Piss on it.
There you go.
The hell with that. If I can't decide what it is, I'll vote for the other guy.
So, John, how are you feeling about this move?
Look, I have no problem with manipulating the.
Exactly.
I have no problem with manipulating this so the voters will be able to tell the difference.
By the way, Bill, aren't you at least somewhat impressed that it's not an instrumental?
That was what I was really shocked about. I was, wow, man.
Well, the thought came to my head. I said, well, I got to break the instrumental thing this week because
you're running out of
No, I got an old closet full right here. I got an old closet full. But I was reminded of this song. I said, "Oh, wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that be?"
See, and that is so funny was when I would hear this song when I was watching that movie, and I kept thinking, that's not the version I remember.
That is not the version you remember. No, sir. No, sir.
And not to, like I was going to say here, not to be all Miss Pissy Pants here about this, but I like the song, but I like the one from the soundtrack a little better. From the movie, I like that better.
To be quite honest, they had to remaster and redo some of their songs from earlier in their career, including that one because of contract issues with the movie. And I was reading up on it this week, to be serious for a second. So they had to redo a bunch of stuff, re-record, I should say, a bunch of stuff. And finding the version that you're talking about, actually, this is the version because I've had this for a long, long time. Maybe it's not, but
make up your mind.
But it's a kick-ass song anyway, no matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice the bologna. It's a kick-ass tune.
Maybe for me, seeing the video of, from the movie was just great. I just loved the way they were performing on stage, and it was just
So the gauntlet has been thrown, Mr. Shannon. I don't believe that will be the bloodshed that was spilled this past week. Well, I can't speak for Bill. But they go, though, Greg Hallman. Look, at least this week, Bill chose a song that people have heard of.
At least a couple people have heard of.
No thanks, Bill, but I appreciate the offer. For those of you listening on audio, he mouthed something to me.
Something naughty.
And I am politely declining because, just like Bill, my knees can't take it anymore.
No, that's it.
Too much stress, man. I can't. I've been sitting on that all week. I've been waiting to get to. I was hoping John had done what he usually does, is not look at any of the graphics. Oh, what's the name of the song, Ed? Look on your screen. It's right.
Well, now I have to do it before we start. I just do that as part of the morning ritual now. So.
Yeah. I should have had you start that a week later.
Before you stumble bums even showed up.
Yeah. Well, some of us had things to do, like shower and sleep. I've been off 3 weeks now, and I am this close to being well rested. I am
Are you
dangerously
now?
close. I am dangerously close.
Are you now?
It has been, and I don't think I'm going back to work anytime soon. I think
No.
well, actually, it certainly won't be for a couple of weeks. The
writers are
strike,
still out striking.
right? Nothing's going to happen on June 1st. The Directors Guild and SAG, their contracts are up with the same groups, so they're going to have to get that all settled out first, and then they'll go with the writers and figure that out. Hopefully, we'll get everything done in the next week or so, and we can get back to work. And although I'm not enjoying my time off.
Why not?
I said I'm not enjoying it. There's a double negative there.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Copy that. Gotcha. Got me. Got somebody. Got milk.
But yep.
It's the final
got
it's the final minute of play, gentlemen.
Oh crap!
Well, Bill, you just go back to sleep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, were we boring you during one of the most?
Oh, at least I fell asleep. I don't sit there yawning in front of everybody.
No, I just pass out in front of everybody.
Yeah, I can blame it on medication, though.
Well,
so could I, but that's medication.
Yeah, that's this week's excuse.
But you know what? Whatever medication you're taking, keep using it, because we're not hearing you hack up a hairball every 3.5.
Well, that's it. Amazing how things work. There we go.
Oh, what does that mean? I had this loud ringing in my ear. What was that all about?
I'm going to change that one of these weeks to a foghorn or something.
Ooh.
All right. That means it's time to go here, folks. So thanks for joining us again here. We'll be back again next week. For Bill Fancher, Ed Van Ness, I'm John Shannon, and I got the money.
See ya!
Yes, dear. Yes, I'm listening. Oh, I heard every word you said, honey. Yes. Yes, dear. Oh, I agree. You're right. Yeah, you're always right, dear. Yes, dear.